Today we're going to be talking about how to grow your quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves on a lower day. We're going to go over how to lay out these sessions within your week within your program. We're going to go over how to lay out your movements within each individual day. And then we're going to go over how to select exercises, your sets, your reps. And by the end of it, you'll have a completely written lower day you can slot into your program. Okay, so first things first, what's going to grow our quads, hamstrings, and our calves? If this is our little person here, we'll start with the quads. This is our upper back, this is our upper leg, and this is our lower leg. If we start with our leg, our knee, in a flexed position, like this, a squat. This is the person's head. You can have the barbell on his back, whatever. Starting with that knee angle like this, and then exploding out of it back to this position, will put the tension on your quads and grow those. So if we're doing a hip hinge, say we're bending over like this, upper leg like this, lower leg like this. We have weights. Let's draw heads on these people. We have weights in our hands here. So gravity is going this way, pulling here, and then the tension is going to be on the back of this leg as you push your butt back. That's going to target your hamstrings, also your glutes too. But if you keep your legs slightly bent, a little break in your knee, weight here, pulling you down this way, that tension is going to go to your hamstrings. And then if you're sitting in hamstring curl machine, seated for example, you start like this. And then the weight is like this. Weight's pushing, gravity's pushing this way because you have the machine. You then end up weight right here. Gravity's going to be pushing this way. Your hamstrings was holding it there. That's the isolation that's going to grow your hamstrings. And then for the calves, anything where if you have your foot right here, this is your lower leg, these are your feet. Start like this. Weight here, gravity going down, you end up this. That'll grow your calves. Real quick, if you want to lay out this leg day alongside me so you can slot it right into your program after, make sure you go to the link in the description and get access to my free program design tool. Okay, so now we understand what movements hit what and how we lay this out within a week. So now how do we lay out an individual leg day? I normally go either, if I have all the time in the world and want to do everything, I have quad focused or hamstring focused. I'll normally do my compound movement, my back squat, hack squat, whatever, if I'm doing a quad focused one. And then a leg extension to isolate the quads and get more volume without as much fatigue. I'll hit my hamstring isolation. You could also do hamstring a compound if you want to do your RDLs after this or something like that. Calf isolation, ab isolation, and then here's an example of a lower day that's hamstring focused. Your compound movement, isolation for the hamstrings, quads. You can do a compound movement like the hack squat, or if these cook you, you can just do the leg extension, something much less fatiguing but still get a ton of quad volume in. A calf raise variation, and then a leg raise. Okay, so now that we know how these days are laid out, let's go over how to select our movements. So when it comes to our quads, our knee dominant hinges, we'll basically just break this down into free weights and machines. Free weights are basically going to just be much more fatiguing for your entire body because you have a bar on your back, so your upper back's going to get sore, it's going to tax your cardiovascular system more, and then you're basically just going to get more tired overall trying to grow your quads with squats. And then with these, with machines, leg press, hack squat, you still get the same movement pattern, but it's much more like your back won't be sore after really, and the rest of your body won't be as fatigued. And then the machines, I think, are much easier to use if you're brand new and don't know what you're doing at all. It's much less intimidating to sit in a hack squat than it is to load a bar on your back and then squat. So yeah, these are the two biggest considerations I have for these movements. But like I said, both are good. Both will grow your quads, put a ton of muscle on, and yeah, for your combo movements, just pick which one you like the most. And then for quad isolation, there's really just your leg extension. And then you also can do like sissy squat variations. Those are much less common. Like normally, I will only see squat variations than leg extensions for quad training. You can also do sissy squat variations, which is basically like you put your knees on the ground right here. Like if this is your back, or I guess your back can really be at any angle like this. And then upper leg, lower leg on the ground. You have this deep knee angle. Gravity's going this way. And then basically, it's like a leg extension, but for your body weight. So I guess you can do body weight quad movements, just not body weight squat patterns. You're usually going to be too strong for that. And then you just push yourself this way with your quads and some of your glutes too. And then for hamstrings and glutes, the bread and butter is going to be your hip hinge patterns and then your leg curl variations. So same thing. Really, you're going to be using free weights for your RDL or stiff-legged deadlift variations. Dumbbells and barbells doesn't really matter. But or a Smith machine, one thing to consider if you're using a barbell, let's say you're going to have to lean forward a little bit more because obviously the bar is going to touch your shins if you lean back. So that could put more of the tension on your lower back, which is just something to consider. It's not a bad thing at all. And then for leg curls, the really only two variations you'll normally see is either you'll go seated, lying like this. This is your torso. This is your torso. And just pick which one you like better. I think people say that the seated leg curl activates your hamstrings more, but it ain't that deep. Pick which one you like to do the best. And then for sets and reps, anything really works. For your compounds, you're probably going to be doing lower reps with more weight, because if you do like a back squat, it sets of 15, you're just going to get way too tired before you can get there, before your quads fatigue. And then if you do way too much weight on a leg extension, you're going to do these probably in higher rep ranges. You're just going to make your knees hurt most likely. But yeah, like I've said pretty much in every other video, isolations are going to be at high rep ranges with less weight than compound movements, obviously. And then for sets, let's lay this out within a week. So say we're doing just an upper-lower split, or lower-upper in this situation. So lower, this will be upper, this will be lower, this will be upper. We can go up here to the top right, and then we can move these over like this. So we'll go lower-upper, rest day right here. And then we can go lower-upper, and then 2 days off before our... we come back to our first day. So if we're doing the squats, for example, let's drop these down. 4 total sets day 1. We have day 2, we're sore. Day 3, we recover on day 2. Day 3, we're not sore at all. We come back to day 4, and we were sore, or we were recovered multiple days in advance. We can probably add a set here along with our weight/rep increases for the week. Same thing for this back half. If this first week you do 4 sets, you hit upper day 4, rest on day 5 and 6 up here, come back, and you recovered, say, on day 5 right here, then you can probably add a set to this back half. And that's how I progress volume for any muscle group or any target throughout a program. And then just like that, you have a completely written leg day that you can slot into your program. Like I said, if you want to lay this all out for yourself, make sure you go to the link in the description and get access to the free program designer. And then check out this video next, and hopefully it will help you get more jacked.